talking about.
And a little bit of elevation sensation.
Oh, yes!
Oh, that was sensational! Oh, that is completely mainline!
He had the speed to compete in an Olympic 100-meter final, but he chose tennis. He became the most spectacular player on the circuit. He saved impossible balls. He made the crowd scream. His opponents feared him, but behind the spectacle, there was something no one saw, something he carried in silence. At 38 years old, when everyone expected his retirement, he broke a record that not even Federer achieved. This is the story of Gaël Monfils, the man who chose a path and paid the price. Gaël Sébastien Monfils was born in Paris on September 1st, 1986. His father, Ruffin, was a professional soccer player from Guadeloupe. His mother, Sylvette, a nurse, was born in Martinique. From an early age, Gaël was different. Not just talented, but athletically exceptional. At 2.5 years old, he was already holding a racket. But at 13, he was also running the 100-meter dash and winning. French champion under 13, champion under 14. His athletics coach said something no one forgot. This boy can reach an Olympic 100-meter final. But Gaël didn't want to be a sprinter. He wanted to be a tennis player. And in 2004, at 18 years old, he proved he was right. #1 junior in the world. Australian Open Junior, Roland Garros Junior, Wimbledon Junior, all in the same year. The promise was made. But what would come next, no one imagined. Monfils entered the professional circuit in 2004 and quickly caught attention. In 2005, he won his first ATP title in Sopot, Poland. He was named Newcomer of the Year. But what really impressed wasn't the titles. It was the way he played. He slid as if the court were ice. He jumped as if defying gravity. He hit behind his back. He dove. He saved impossible balls. The crowd loved him. Commentators called him a human highlight reel. He was pure spectacle, but there was a problem no one saw, yet. Because while Monfils entertained, he lost. Finals, many finals. In 2008, he reached the semi-finals of Roland Garros at home in France. He faced Roger Federer. He lost. It wasn't for lack of talent. It wasn't for lack of effort. It was something deeper, something he himself would admit years later. Many people saw me as much stronger than I really was. And while the world treated him as a future champion, Gaël fought against an invisible weight. Expectation. The following years were a roller coaster. Monfils reached 3 Masters 1000 finals. He lost them all. Paris, 2009, Paris, 2010, Monte Carlo, 2016. He got close to the top, but never reached it. And then came 2016, the year that should have been different. Monfils was at his peak, 6th in the world, best ranking of his career. He qualified for the ATP World Tour Finals for the first time. At the US Open, he did something few expected. He reached the semi-finals. On the other side of the net, Novak Djokovic. Monfils knew he couldn't play conventionally. Djokovic was relentless, perfect, unbeatable. So he tried something different. Slow balls, slices, unconventional tactics. John McEnroe, commentating live, said, "This is almost unprofessional." Monfils lost and was criticized. But after the match, he said something that revealed his true character. "I was brave, and it saddens me to be criticized by a legend." The truth hurt. Monfils never beat Djokovic, not once, 0 out of 20. And against Federer, defeats. Against Nadal, defeats. He had the talent, but he didn't have the victories. And then came the hardest blow, injuries, knee, wrist, back. Monfils began missing tournaments. His ranking plummeted. In 2020, he was out of the top 10. In 2021, his career seemed to be coming to an end. And worst of all, he himself publicly admitted, "I made too many wrong decisions throughout my career." It seemed like the end, a wasted talent, a showman who entertained but never won. But there was something no one knew, something that was about to change everything. Her name is Elina Svitolina, Ukrainian professional tennis player, former number 3 in the world. At the end of 2018, Monfils sent her a message on Instagram. They started dating. In 2021, they got engaged. In July of that year, they got married. And in October 2022, Sky was born. Monfils said something few athletes have the courage to say: "I would have retired without her." Elina didn't just support him, she reignited his passion. And Monfils did something surprising. He stopped trying to be what others expected of him. He decided to play for pleasure. In 2023, at 37 years old, he won again, Stockholm Open, and then came January 2025. Auckland, New Zealand, ASB Classic. Monfils won. At 38 years and 132 days old, he became the oldest player to win an ATP title since the circuit was created in 1990. He surpassed Roger Federer. But it didn't stop there. Australian Open, 2025, round of 16. Monfils faced Taylor Fritz, top 4 in the world. He was losing, but he turned it around. At 38 years old, he became the second oldest athlete in the Open era to reach the round of 16 in Melbourne. Only Federer was ahead, and with that victory, he broke another record, 128 Grand Slam victories, more than any French tennis player in history. After the match, he didn't talk about tennis. He talked about his daughter, about his wife, about what really mattered. "Tennis is wonderful, but my dream is out there." He was no longer playing to prove anything. He was playing because he loved it. And suddenly, the man who never won a Grand Slam had something many champions never had: peace. Gaël Monfils never won Wimbledon, never lifted the Roland Garros trophy, never defeated Djokovic. But at 38 years old, he became something greater than a champion. He became human, an athlete who chose to entertain when he could have played it safe, a man who admitted his flaws when he could have blamed others, a father who put his family above glory. In 2026, Monfils announced he will retire, his final season, his farewell, and when he leaves the court for the last time, he won't carry just 13 titles. He will carry the respect of millions, the love of a family, and the certainty that he lived authentically. Because in the end, perhaps the true victory isn't winning everything, but living without regrets. And you, what would you choose? To be the perfect champion or the true human? Leave it in the comments. And if this story touched you, subscribe to the channel, because some journeys are worth more than trophies.